was quite as good as Desi, but still probably the second or third best player on the team, besides Desi, you know?
I'm not later, Mess.
You're not... Did I call you later?
No, that was what Later told you yesterday.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
But I might think the same thing, I don't know.
I'm putting opinions in your mouth, so we can't do that.
Walk Subway. Okay.
So here comes the pistol round.
Send me a quick... Oh, they're going out squeaky. Alright.
Why are we watching Storm? We want to watch Desi.
Oh, they're playing heavy B, so they're trying to anti-strat them right now, and they're still hoping it's B, but...
Man. Warden, you better hope you come up big here, buddy.
He's got to.
They are all surrounding him. But Desi's in good... Oh, there's the first headshot from Desi. Quick trade out by Char, though, with a little bit of help from Els. Drops Ocean. Or, excuse me, drops Warden. That's Ocean. And you're going to get the bomb planted. Or he should. He's got the opportunity. Char will get the bomb down as Tovu picks up 2. It's down to Storm now. 1-on-3 scenario. And this is good. I mean, T-sided map, like you said, Launders. SapphireKelowna wants to pick up this round, and they do. Comfortably over eLevate.
Yeah, it was a solid pistol. They actually, you know, by the time that SapphireKelowna executed, eLevate were in good positions to defend either site. They really thought that it was going to be an early B, ended up not being, and now we got a scalp eye out for eLevate, which we've seen been pretty good. Now, the answer to this, I think, is what SapphireKelowna has, and that's not SMGs, that's Galils and AKs. So they're taking this round very seriously. I imagine they'll play pretty slowly. Now, they like to split up on these second rounds, which can be dangerous, but on the chance that they're not actually stacking a site, this is the proper play. Now, 2 players are walking Subway, and they're going to look for a pick, and I think they'll move in on a pick, or possibly just send a player in to see how many kills he can get and find out if a site is stacked. On Season, a very common map to just stack sites on ecos because the rotates are so long.
Yeah, as this round has started out rather slowly, and again, we've seen eLevate get pretty creative with the early economy in the halves. We see XP3 picking up the Scout this time, which if they lose this round might play into them liking to go for that third round buy despite losing the initial 2, as it's a 3-on-3 scenario here. Doing pretty well on the eco. Bringing it down to just 3 guns for the terrorist, but Els has the bomb on his back. He's going to move in and get the bomb planted. Storm again the LMS for eLevate. And once again, he is up against 3. Let's see if he can work any kind of magic. Hopefully drop a gun, get himself a freebie. Nope, he'll be taken down by Wabbits Galil. It'll be a quick 2-0 for SapphireKelowna, and we'll have to see if eLevate goes for that crazy third round buy that we've seen them do before.
Well, they just spent all their money in the last round, so I don't think they're going to try that again. Now, they almost had a very fruitful hold on the Subway there. They camped one guy. They played a double horseshoe. They camped one guy out there to bait for his teammate who was right by sandbags. They almost did enough damage to take out as many players as they could. Now, between the frags, the AKs ended up winning the duels, and that meant that SapphireKelowna just won that round by the skin of their teeth, but it wasn't an easy round to win, so good on them for doing that.
Yeah, so you got to think that the way these first 2 rounds have gone, once eLevate gets guns in their hands, it might be a different story. So obviously, SK wants to sew up this round and then get on the board in a traditional gun round against these guys, because it's going to be tough sledding. They want to get, like you said, Loners, likely a 10-5 here on T side before moving into the second half. Might even want more than that against a team like eLevate. If they get hot, particularly Desi, it's all bets are off. Opening frag goes to Char onto Desi. Sorry for the caster's curse there, Desi. Ocean picking up Moses. Warden is in good position to pick up Char, who does not see that shot coming from his P2000. He'll get himself a free gun, not taking much damage at all. But the terrorists do have control of the B site, and they'll get it planted as Storm decapitates Ocean with that shot and gets himself a Galil. So as the bomb is planted, eLevate's brought it to a 3-on-3. And it looks like they might actually go for that retake. Actually, no, they're thinking better. They're going to retreat with their guns, live to fight another day. But XP3 staging himself up to get an exit kill.
That was an excellent bound by SK. I'm really impressed right now. The positioning has just been great. The communication's on point, I feel like. The individual play was just smart, like Char mollying off that close left position outside of Horseshoe where we had a player standing last round. You know, it's a model you use on an eco, not necessarily one on a rifle, and it ended up working out perfectly even though there wasn't a player there. Now they lost a couple picks to P2Ks, which is kind of unfortunate, but ultimately, you know, this is about team play, and the team play is what won them the round. So they ended up emptying out B and winning the round with 3 players remaining. But also, good job for a good thing for eLevate, able to land 2 P2K kills and hang on to a couple of AKs.
Yeah, it was brought down to Warden, as I think they did get an exit kill onto one of those AKs, but Warden did save 1 gun, which certainly helps their economy going into this first gun round. SapphireKelowna up 3-0 on eLevate. You are looking to get on the board here. Again, coming off of back-to-back losses to Lunatic and Netcode Guides last night. This will be their last match of the season. They don't want to back into playoffs for sure. Want to start building some momentum right now and be playing their best Counter-Strike once they do.
That's a 3K for Desi.
Desi already going hard. And you see what happens when he does have decent ping as the bomb is dropped. Catwalk right next to Pit. And Desi, you can tell he's already feeling a little more confident. He's kind of moving around a bit more nonchalantly than he might be if his ping was 600.
Yeah, that was just a great A-hold. Ultimately, they locked it down, and I think that SapphireKelowna wanted to keep the momentum going as they won the last couple of rounds looking pretty smart at least, and I feel like they wanted to put that pressure on to eLevate, come away with an easy 4th round, but Desi with a 3K spray down on Cat, there's not much you can do about that, so they held that down. They also had 3 players there to defend A, which made it really difficult for SK. They might want to spend more time trying to force early rotates like they did on the 2nd and 1st round, as opposed to just imposing their will on a site right off the bat, because like we mentioned, this is a T-sided map, and the reason is because the rotates are so long. Wow.
Desi again, just the perfectly timed peek there.
Yeah.
Catches both of those SK terrorists looking the opposite direction. Nobody watching that lane. Desi from Catwalk picking up the easy 2K. But he gets flashed there and dropped by Els. Bringing it within 1. eLevate on the board here, looking to make it 2 to bring it within 1 against SK, who racked up the first 3 rounds.
So I like what they're doing right now. If they walk jail, absolutely no noise, don't smoke off J or anything, they would have a pretty easy site to take. You know, they could look for Storm, and if they clear the site and don't find him, they could take it afterwards. But if they do this at the right timing, they should be able to get a frag. Now, Char's being waited for, though, so that could be an issue.
And it's looking like Storm's playing that turnpike position, but he is actually watching back towards T-spawn and not from where the bomb is coming. As the rotate comes, the CT upper from Moses in position, but the bomb has been planted by Tovu. And there's the rotate by Storm, who is dropped by Tovu, the planter. It's a 2-on-2, and Els is lurking right behind Moses at CT upper. I'm surprised Moses didn't hear that coming. It's all down to Warden, last man standing for eLevate. And he eats an op shot from Tovu, so SK back on the board, stopping eLevate's momentum.
That was some really sloppy play from eLevate. Like, I mean, obviously Desi got 2 picks at the beginning of the round. They knocked that down to a 2v5, and SapphireKelowna still managed to win somehow, obviously with great lurking, and they took advantage of the fact that no one was holding mid, and they could just walk right into jail. It was a perfect play. But ultimately, you know, Moses getting shot in the back of the head when he knew Els just took out his teammate right behind him doesn't really make a lot of sense, communication-wise, so I'm not sure what was going on there.
Yeah, I mean, he really just got completely blindsided when, like you said, he probably should have had intel that there was someone behind him. He should have watched that lane. And that cost them dearly. But we'll have another kind of pseudo gun round. eLevate with 2 M4s and a FAMAS. Looking to get back on the board here as XP3 picks up the M4 frag onto Ocean. And Desi, proving that all he needs is a pistol, he drops Wabbit with a headshot. And we're seeing the terrorists kind of consolidate themselves towards middle, keeping their options open. But where the bomb is staged, it's looking like they might want to go towards A's. There's a little bit of a showdown there in Vince. Here's Moses, who gets dropped by Els as they will make entry into the B site. Storm, the only one there to hold them back. He'll throw out a smoke. And call for the rotate. The molly right on his feet forces him out of his position. Perfectly played by Sapphire Kelowna as Tobu picks up that frag on the Storm. But now it's a 2-on-2. They still have not got the bomb planted. This was a quick rotate by eLevate, but that headshot from Char will likely get them the plant as XP3 is smoked off and will be forced to retreat. Looking like he's moving to upper B. I think he's actually going to go for this retake.
There's really no hope for him to win this retake. I mean, they're obviously not going to peek here. Yeah.
Tobu is.
But yeah, the positions were too good. I mean, at some point, I mean, he didn't have enough health to win it. Also, he was at like 24 health, so it would have been probably a better idea to save. Now, they're really low on money. Elevator down on rounds. It is T-sided, and they are going to have to start winning rounds eventually. But I think more importantly, they're going to have to clean up a little bit on the communication mistakes, because I know communication is always important, but especially on a map that is so sprawled out like Season, you have to know exactly what's going on. And I think the fact that eLevate don't like to play mid very heavily means that SapphireKelowna are always going to fall back to their mid round and see if they can just walk somewhere, which they've been doing successfully.
Yeah, that's a good point. And you know, this being not really a traditional map that these guys probably have a ton of reps in, as Storm picking up 2 frags, including the bomb carrier, with his pistol and a third with the picked up AK before he gets traded out by Els. That is a huge play by Storm to get a 3-for-1 trade, including the bomb, to give his team the intel to allow for the rotate. As you see, they completely collapse onto the B bomb site, giving themselves a chance. Desi peeking with that USP. Els is down to 13 HP as Wabbit doesn't have much of his own. He's down to 57. Moses in good position to decapitate him with the P250. Picks up the AK to finish off Els. Beautiful eco round by eLevate when they kind of needed it.
Yeah, I mean, Storm picked up 3, Moses picked up 2. All great frags. Obviously, Storms were amazing. And that won them around, that saved their economy, that put them on the board. It's hard to say, it's hard to measure exactly how important those kills were. So, great round by Storm, at least.
Yeah, Storm really made that happen. Got the initial 2 kills with this pistol, picked up the AK to get a third before he was dropped. But more importantly, he dropped the bomb in that process. So, like I said, he was able to get those frags, let his team know where the bomb was, quick rotate. He only had the pistols, but able to finish it off. A little bit of help from Moses. Nicely done.
Wow.
Resets the economy here is now SKDC's on the save.
Yeah, which is just crazy. I had no idea they'd be that low.
And it's looking like they're going to try to make a move on the A side, but look where Desi is. On top of the awning, above Catwalk. He hears him coming. He's in great position to do some serious damage if he just decides to peek. Catches 1. There's a second on the Ocean. The bomb gets planted, though, as Desi drops him with a very nice spraying headshot. Pulls out his USP for the last one standing. It's Char. It's a showdown with him and Desi. Desi doing what he does. Up to 12, 1 and 5 there as the bomb is defused. So Sapphire will get some money off of that, but unfortunately another round win for eLevate.
Yeah, definitely necessary for them to plant the bomb, as Wabbit is now opping. So good that they did that, but ultimately they're coming off a round that they just lost, so that's not going to be good for them. Now they're going to come into this round with an op that we haven't seen before, so we're probably going to see, it looks like Wabbit has a spawn for mid, and he's just going to go try to take this pick. But he gets smoked out with a very standard smoke that people always throw up here to stop people from rushing Cat. And now we have a heavier mid presence. So Warden's pushed up mid. We got XP3 back here. Desi's pushed up Cat. They've got so much information now. eLevate.
Yeah, these guys really forcing the issue. And that's kind of a sign of that veteran play, veteran leadership. Where, like you said, Launder's going for that free intel. Here's the opening engagement. XP3 winning that against Els. You see Ocean and Wabbit still... Oh, are you serious? He gets dinged through the smoke at the bottom of the stairs. I'm sure he's pretty salty about that one as Desi picks up Char from the pit. It's just coming down to gunplay right now as the bomb is still staged. Basically a T-spawn mid, really not forcing the issue as Desi picks up another. Whew. And XP3 gets himself 2 more to close out the round as eLevate is really feeling it. They basically get a perfect round as they don't lose a man in that.
Yeah, this is starting to look like a comeback, and a lot of that had to do with the fact that they had complete mid control all the way up until Cat, and they played one back in J, and that was XP3 who ended up winning a duel by the skin of his teeth against Els. So if Els had won that entry, they would have had the entire A site. It might have been a different story, and that's how important entry frags can be.
Yeah, particularly on a map like this where, I don't know, sometimes with these teams it just comes down to a little bit of pubbing. I mean, who can win your duels?
Yep.
And Storm with that howl gets one. They're going to transfer onto a second. He drops the bomb again, and he's been really fortuitous with the bomb coming at him as there's a third. Oh no, he had a nade in his hand, and I think he paid for it. As Els is able to pick up his gun, but Desi avenges Storm's death. So another 3K for Storm, and eLevate evens it up with that round win.
And now the ball is in SapphireKelowna's court. They're on the bye round. They've got to come up with a new game plan. They're not going to be opping again, so they've won rounds where they haven't opt, but not rounds where eLevate haven't adjusted to that style of play. So at this point, they have to come up with something new that's going to work. Oh, actually, Wabbit can afford an op. I think, does he have armor?
He's going without head armor.
Oh, without head armor,
Just
okay.
just going with the Kevlar.
Okay, so that can be good. Now, they might try to go back to the same kind of strategy, but then the round that they had an op, they still didn't knock down a single player. I think it was a flawless round for eLevate. So I wonder what that means for them, how they're going to rework their strategy here, because they don't want that to happen again. But an op is supposed to be a bigger advantage than not having one.
Yeah, this is a big investment for SapphireKelowna. The first swing by Wabbit is a miss. He's going to move over to Vents. If they lose this one, it could turn into disaster for them, as they had so much momentum starting out this half. T-sided map, and they certainly don't want to give up any more rounds to eLevate at this point. So this is a crucial gun round as Warden picks up 2 in mid as Desi steps out and gets 1 on the flank. So, like you said, eLevate getting information early and SapphireKelowna working slowly enough to allow eLevate to outmaneuver them, so to speak, as it's down to Tovu and Wabbit. Tovu does have the bomb, though. And he's heading over towards the B side as a sole defender. So this is a potentially winnable round for SapphireKelowna. If they can get this opening frag, as Tovu does, he'll move into the site. Assuming it is clear, he'll get the plant off. He's got a teammate in tow, so it'll be a 2-man retake for XP3 and Moses.
Aside from the health, they've got a huge advantage coming into this retake situation with Wabbit with an op. They can get their perfect after plant setup without anyone finding out where they're going to be standing. That molly whiffs, and they're smoked out, so it's going to be hard to deal with this.
Nicely done. Wabbit gets the first kill on to Moses, and Tovu follows it up on to XP3. So SapphireKelowna getting back on the board, retaking the lead there.
And once again, we see the story of entries be the dictator of who wins the round. And ultimately, if he weren't able to enter into B site, they probably would have lost. They probably would have fell flat on their faces. But they were able to do so. They took advantage of the rotates, got in positions where there's no way to figure out where the player is going to be standing before you get there, and that means time is on their side. So they were able to pull out that round with a nice 2v3. Very nice.
Yeah, nicely done by SK. Like you said, utilizing that smoke and just the kind of mess that is the B bomb site, where there's so many spots these guys could be watching you from, and you're coming through smoke. It really is an unwinnable retake if these guys are even awake. So it's now 6-5, another gun round. eLevate trying to tie it up with this one, as it started all SapphireKelowna's game, and it's been back and forth since then in the gun rounds.
Yeah, but we're coming to the point where SK need to pull ahead. So even though they did just win that last round and that was nice, they actually need a bigger lead to actually keep the score even, in the sense that it's T-sided.
Yeah, they want to win out, absolutely. That is their goal from this point on, and they can do it.
Ooh, that smoke's
not good. But that shot through the smoke, well, not really through the smoke. XP3 able to take advantage of the fact that it doesn't smoke him entirely off, just kind of threading the needle through the crack there as Storm picks up one onto Tofu. And just, I don't want to say careless deaths, but certainly not fortunate ones, as SapphireKelowna is dropping like flies. They've gotten into the B bomb site, but at great cost that they smoke off and Looks like they're desperately going to go for the plant. They do get the plant off. Wabbit, last man standing against 4. He gets 1. He's got 3 more standing in front of him. They're going to come raining out of upper B and take him out with a pistol. Nice job by Wabbit to at least get the plant off to get Sapphire some money.
Yeah, I suppose so, but 6-6, and they're looking at a 9-6 half, which is fine. I mean, it's not that difficult to win on CT, but apart from the fact that the rotates are a lot longer on season, it's also very uncomfortable playing sites as a CT. The cover is really not in your favor. The sites are really open. It's really easy to rush CAD and split subway. So there's a lot of options as a terrorist. And eLevate are probably a team that are going to be able to exploit those really well. Now SK I feel like are looking smart, but they are losing some very important duels, and that's what it seems to be coming down to. So now we're on a save, and that means eLevate are probably going to take a lead.
Yeah, and this could be the beginning of the end if this turns into a unfortuitous half of them. They do get entry through the smoke. And they'll get the bomb planted, which... Oh, no, they don't! That nade from Storm, as soon as I said it, connects right onto the planter. That's Wabbit. As Els picks up the bomb and Ocean comes out swinging. He gets traded out by Warden, so they don't get the plant off, although I thought they would. That's a nice hold by eLevate, despite the fact that it was an eco.
Yeah, now Wabbit's an excellent opper, but they don't seem to need to have an op to win a round. Now, they stop the plant, which is very important. With that in mind, if eLevate are able to win this next round, and SapphireKelowna aren't able to plant again, they will be saving. So, behind that fact, you know, they are running around with AKs, they have a good opportunity to win the round, but they also need to.
Yeah, and given the fact that the next round will be the last, this is do or die for them here in this half. I mean, you got to think if they lose this, eLevate will be in such a superior position that it should be an easy 9-6 for them at that point. So the opening frag does go to XP3 onto Char. Warden picks up one with his op onto Wabbit. The defense has been strong for eLevate as Tovu gets an entry onto Desi. And Moses just basically an easy frag onto Ocean, who went full yellow running through the smoke there.
Yeah, I'm not sure that, you know, they tried this in the first rifle round of the game, right, when it was 3-0, and they tried to just pull an easy 4th round by rushing A. Now, they walked right into the defenses of eLevate, who had 3 players at A, and crushed them. Now, the same thing happened again. I'm not sure if that was the best idea to want to get the round over with as soon as possible, considering they were having really good results in the late round, even if they were down a man. So I feel like, you know, just giving up all the time on the clock when it seems like they're later, the later the round gets, the better the chance SK have. Means
yeah, they
that
got a little impatient there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I feel like they're throwing away, you know, a plus for them, and they just.
It was their last opportunity, their last at least good odds opportunity.
Yeah, it's a round that was super crucial. So, unfortunate to see that. I feel like.
But they could perhaps salvage things if they pull off this round here and make it an 8-7 half. At least in the morale department, as they will have done it basically from behind in the equipment department. eLevate has 2 ops, 3 M4s. And here comes the execute into B. Off of mid control for SapphireKelowna. Again, Storm still defending over there. And the rotate. Coming from Moses, who's in great position to get the spray down. As Storm picks up one as well. Brings it down to just Ocean. Looking like likely a 9-6 half. And there it is. Ocean only able to get one. eLevate winning the half easily, I would say. Because, like you said, it should have been 10-5 for SK.
Yeah, they had a couple of flawless rounds. They had a bunch of ecos, and they came back from losing the pistol, which is huge for them. SK had harder in rounds, but they didn't have many of them. And I feel like it was, you know, more is to be said about eLevate for adapting to SK than the other way around, which I feel like SK lacked in the department of adapting, you know, readjusting to eLevate, who adapted them very quickly. Now, they went back to the same kinds of strategies, you know, rush A and that kind of thing that really didn't really suit the playstyle that gave them the most success. So hopefully in the CT half, they might have maybe just more luck winning trades and just in general side holds, but I'm not sure. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, particularly with the way some of the eLevate players have been playing. Desi, extremely hot with his better ISP now. As we actually see 2 rush onto the B-bomb side for eLevate, but drawing the rotate The bomb strolls into A and will get the plant safely as Desi drops one defender, can't get the second. But already a successful round for eLevate as they do get the bomb planted off of the fake. But now, after Storm gets decapitated by Wabbit, it's going to be up to XP3 and Moses against Tovu and Wabbit. Wabbit has a kit, so they got some time to work with. Nice smoke. Moses is actually going to go through the smoke. He's right. He's spraying. He can't see him. He's not connecting.
Oh. No.
Wow. Moses was right there, but couldn't see through the smoke what we saw through X-Ray, and the committed defuse, dare I say the YOLO defuse, goes to SapphireKelownaDotCom. What a round win.
Pros don't fake. Okay, that's the sub emote we need.
Pros don't fake. That sums it up, man. Are you kidding me? I laughed like a little girl at that. Let's be honest. I couldn't believe it.
And I mean they both needed that round. So wow.
Yeah,
I know eLevate are laughing about that. That's crazy.
I gotta say, brevity. Moses couldn't part the smoke. That's an A+ comment right there. He just couldn't do it. Honestly, if he had gone with the knife swipe, he would have been in better position, but instead just went for the spray down with the pistol. Didn't connect with a single shot.
You saw Get Right try it. It was like, I'm not getting posted.
No, he's not pulling the Get Right. Well, at least Get Right did some damage. He just sprayed and prayed. That was seriously nutty. And it looks like SapphireKelowna is pretty hype off of that round as it's down to Desi. And he gets taken out. Those FAMASas just too strong for the rushing eLevate terrorists. And this is looking like a different game off of that crazy round win to start off the second half.
That can really mess you up, you know? Like, you think about that just happened, and you live in that moment for a little bit. You know, they're coming into a couple of eco rounds, so at least... Oh, actually, they're buying, so this is a... yeah, this is a... Well, they got that bomb down.
They got the plant,
round,
so yeah, they had the money.
So SK are probably expecting this completely, and they're going to be ready for this, so we'll see what they have to do. Now, playing 3 mid, 2 pushed up, they're not giving up that early mid control. It's going to be a walk subway over to A, and it looks like they're going to try to do something similar to what SK did. Stand 2 players at cat, walk subway, maybe put a couple players up squeaky, but Ocean's going to be here waiting. That's going to be really on him to get a frag.
Yeah, this is a crucial round. Win, SapphireKelowna ties it up. Likely forces eLevate to save, vice versa. eLevate forces SK to save and will pull ahead by 2. As already XP3 and Char off the field of play, and L's in great position to get the backstabbing shot onto Warden. And it looks like SapphireKelownaDotCom has actually guessed correctly as to where they think eLevate's going with the bomb. And look at Wabbit. In great position, just turns the angle onto the would-be bomb planter and drops him with the shot. But Desi gets 2 with that entry, brings it down to Tovu, who does have a kit as the bomb will get planted at the A site. And given how crucial this round is, you got to think that Tovu is going to go for this, Launders.
Yeah, he's got the time. He's already made the rotate. Now the first frag is where it's going to be. Okay, and Desi with a huge 4K. Enormous. I thought that round was... I thought SK had a really good start to that round, even though the trades were 1 for 1. It seemed like they still had better positions. They had control of Cat. And all of a sudden, you know, Desi comes out and just does his work and gets picks. 24-10 so far in this game.
Yeah, full carry mode right now. Well, I don't want to say carry, but my goodness. This is the Desi we're used to seeing. It's the only one who's even close is on eLevate's team. That's XP3 with 16. But on the opposite side, the closest is Tovu, and that's half of Desi's frags. That's pretty ridiculous.
That's crazy, just to see that they have so many rounds with only 9 or 10 kills each.
And Tovu basically just walked into a firing squad there. Unfortunately, as XP3 with the bomb is going to stroll over to the B side where we have just Char defending but from behind the smoke. As he eats a couple of nades, ouch! Now he got double teamed there hard as it's down to Ocean with his deagle. Let's see if he can take on 3 of these terrorists with the bomb planted. AKs in their hands. I think he's feeling a little lucky as he's just going to force the issue. Not much to save though, so why not go for it? Has no armor. Just a smoke as he gets decapitated by Storm. eLevate, they're looking to run away with this here in the second half, despite the fact that Sapphire come off with that huge pistol round win.
Yeah, and it's just that, the game is going to start to slip away from them if they don't win this round right here. Obviously, score-wise, it's going to be 12, and they're only going to need 4 more rounds to win the entire game. But also because if they go on another save, it's just going to hurt them too bad. As a CT, your economy is just so valuable, and to not be able to put rounds together in a row, it just makes it too difficult. And that's another thing that makes it even more C-sided. The fact that you can buy more often as a terrorist, but you only have so many chances as a CT.
Yeah, it's a great point. On top of that super long rotate that we all can cleanly see in these games. So it looks like eLevate is favoring the A site this time, where SapphireKelowna has got 3 stacked. So in good position to fend off this would-be attack.
Yeah, I think Wabbit's, going to be the X factor here. He's got a really good spot on Subway and should be able to get a frag. Especially considering they're trying to go A.
Just waiting for someone to peek through that doorway as he's forced to move up through the smoke. Oh. Misses the opening shot onto Desi at Catwalk as he's brought down to 1 HP, and Desi makes him pay for it. He drops 2 in the process. Very nicely done.
I have no idea how he missed that.
Yeah, if you're going to give that to Desi, like I said, he will make you pay for it. So now it's Els and Tovu with the bomb planted cleanly at A site. Didn't lose a man in taking that, and that's the opposite of what you want if you're SapphireKelowna here. And looking like they're just going to try to save their guns and hope for exit kills. As you take a look at their economy here, they have no money to speak of, and eLevate off of this win, not losing a single man, will start to bankroll.
Yeah, they're going to start to bankroll. They have the momentum. They're going to start feeling better and better about the half. This probably could have been over if they had locked down that unfortunate pistol and knocking down both exits instantly.
Perfect hunt. They are feeling it.
Yeah, for sure. And look at the money on SK. It's dire straits. They're going to be on a save. It's going to be 13-8 most likely, and they're having no trouble taking sights versus rifles. I don't think they're going to have trouble versus P2Ks.
Hop in XP3's hands as well.
Or P250.
As here comes the rush in middle from the saving SapphireKelowna. But luckily for eLevate, they didn't really commit too many to that direction. As it looks like eLevate actually opted to go over towards the B-bomb site, and they'll get free entry after that kill. And they'll get the bomb planted. So now it's up to a defense of Els and Ocean on the retake. They only have pistols in their hand. Pretty much an easy round win for eLevate. Just kind of guessed wrong in that push. I like the idea of them just kind of rushing mid. That's kind of... The percentages are good that they might be in mid, but unfortunately for them, they weren't there. Weren't able to pick up any frags as Desi gets the hunt kill onto Els. eLevate. 3 rounds away from the victory.
Yeah, and again, this is one more opportunity for SK. One of their very few opportunities for them to turn it around. The momentum's not in their favor. They're playing from way behind economically, and eLevate have just stacked up money. Like it's a ridiculous lead, and not just a score lead, but an economic lead. So SK have to play out of their minds right now. They have to hold down a site. They have to stop plants. They have to kill everybody without losing too many players. And the bottom line is they need to win rounds, though.
And they're opting for this aggression in mid once again, but this time with guns. Els picking up that opening frag on XP3. It pays off early. They have mid control as the number 1 man, Warden, is smoked off. He's going to toss a nade and hope to do some damage, then retreat. This is some calculated aggression again by SapphireKelowna as they go for basically the 1-3-1 setup. Pushing 3 in mid. And now it's going to be up to Tovu. That 1 man over on the B-bomb site. He drops 1 would-be entry man. That's Warden. But Storm gets the trade out, a little belated, but that will allow them to get into the B-bomb site. And here comes the rotate by, I believe it's Ocean. Here comes Charge. And actually, it's looking like they're going to full reverse our eLevate. They realize they didn't get into the site quickly enough. As Desi is able to get the trade out onto Wabbit, brings it to a 2-on-3. Let's see if he can work some magic here. Unfortunately, not able to do so. He gets dropped by the rotating Els. The bomb on the ground now. Moses, last man standing. He's at half health. Likely, well, he doesn't need to save his gun. They have plenty of money, so he's probably just going to see if he can get a frag here to end the round. Only 15 seconds to work with. Now he's just going to save it. You do have a lot of money, but no need to be silly. No need to be stupid here.
No, for sure. Dropping their guns would be really great, but you know, ultimately they're the ones waiting for him, so it's going to be in his favor to number one to not die and to number two not die after the timer. So he's staying alive. That's good. Now SK were able to win that round. You know, that's the key part. Their money is still a disaster though, and they're going to be buying, but ultimately they've got to win. They've got to win up until they're basically tied before eLevate are going to be saving. So that's a big deal. Just that alone. I don't know what their plan is this round. Last round, they played it flawlessly. They had a great idea rushing up mid. They took advantage of XP3 who wanted to jump through the smoke and try to opt them, and they just read that like a book, and they handled it. And now they're going to be rushing B straight out against one player.
What can Tovu do? He gets one, reloads. They're already in the site, though, as they've smoked off his rotating teammates. So unfortunately, he is not in that good of a position to contest this plant. As Storm will get the bomb planted. It's the number 4 man. The bomb is down. Desi drops Tovu, who was that sole defender on this site. So he did a nice job picking up that opening frag, but unfortunately conceded the bomb site when he did that. And the smokes prevented his teammates from rotating into the site as the massacre is out. eLevate holds off the bomb site very easily, only losing 1 in the process to bring it to 14-9.
Yeah, and that was just the good read. I mean, Sapphire thought it was going to be an A hit. Man, Desi already up to 33 frags, 33 and 12. That's just absurd. You know, I started betting against Manajuma when they picked up Desi to replace Icy because I used to think about it. I was like, he's a 10-manner. Like, he's not an invite player. He's a 10-manner. Just coming straight out of main, and all of a sudden is just like became the second or if not best player on Manajuma, and now obviously just a serious contender.
A frag
in invite
monster.
in general.
I mean,
yeah.
This guy is just a bulldozer. You unleash him at a team and you let him go to work. When he is in form like this, I mean, there's not a lot you could do to stop him. He's been quite efficient in this game. eLevate once again will get the bomb planted without losing a single man, although XP3 brought down to 5 HP. As Desi picks up that frag on the rotating Tovu. XP3 gets 1 before he loses his life, so now it's down to Els. Just a pistol in his hand, up against 4 eLevate terrorists, and the bomb is planted. They're all pretty much full health. Tries his luck against Storm, and that's not going to work against him and his AK. So eLevate 1 round away from closing up their final match of the season with a win on season.
You could ace for the 40 right now.
For the 40 bomb? We want to see it. Should we go let's go dedicated Desi cam. Can't even talk, man.
Oh man. So yeah, I mean part of it is that he's doing entries and he's doing a great job doing it. So I don't know. They're gonna go pretty hard. It seems like they're just gonna pose their will on wherever they want to go right now because they're taking advantage of the fact that SK are on a force. Yeah.
And Desi is in full on bulldoze mode. He just ran right into the A site. No one even contesting his entry. Sees Ocean, sprays him down. Smokes off A. Look at all the nades raining in upper B. That's insane. It's down to Char and Tovu. Last 2 alive to contest this potentially final round for eLevate. Now just Tovu. He's up against 5. Brings down 1. Cannot get a second. It's Warden who decapitates him from below with the AK. eLevate winning convincingly, 16-9 over SapphireKelowna.